All right, we're back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles with the one and only Pop Dibiase, the Primetime Capper. Let's go ahead and jump into our NBA preview, and our NBA preview is for the Charlotte Hornets today. And the Charlotte Hornets, this team is really just, they're one of the funniest teams in NBA history, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Your name was the Bobcats because you guys the original Hornets franchise moved to New Orleans. Everybody knows the story. They were the New Orleans Hornets for a good decade, and then when Charlotte came back around, gave up those dollars real quick. They returned the Hornets name and colors and all that stuff back to the city of Charlotte because they love their Hornets, man. They love the idea of the Hornets, and it never looked right with the Hornets being in New Orleans. You know what I mean? And there's no Hornets in New Orleans, so it just didn't match. But all in all, we fast forward to today, and let's keep it real. They have a guy when healthy who is probably top 5 young players in the league, pretty much point blank. And he could be considered a dark horse MVP candidate as well, too, if this team can actually play some pretty good basketball this season. I'm just saying this because when you look at LaMelo's numbers in the 36 games he played last season before he had to take the rest of the year off, he was averaging 23 points and he was getting almost 9 assists a game, almost 8 rebounds a game. So that means the kid was averaging almost a triple double. And the Charlotte Hornets were such a good team when he was healthy. They were a very good team. They were the type of team that you really couldn't sit up there and say that they were out of any game. They would get down 15, 17 points, figure out a way to get back in the game and almost win that game or win the game. Or they had games where they went back and forth with teams and wound up getting themselves some pretty good wins. It seems like LaMelo does have a good grasp on the community that they're in, that he knows who he's catering to. It's the young audience of the NBA, the teenagers, the children, not grown men like me, not the 30-year-olds, not the guys arguing about LeBron and Kobe and Jordan all day. It's about the people that play 2K right now that have no idea, no clue about what was happening 20 years ago. They're only worried about what's happening today. And LaMelo Ball is the face of that right now. LaMelo Ball and Edwards, I think, have a true rivalry in a sense on who's going to really be the next up as the face of the NBA. Right now, Ant's in the lead because LaMelo can't stay healthy. But when it comes to the whole coverage and putting a guy on TV and putting a guy on a GQ magazine, it's LaMelo Ball. Everybody knows that. It's LaMelo. But LaMelo has to stay healthy. If LaMelo can stay healthy, Charlotte can be a factor in the East because the East is wide open. Once you get away from the top of the East, that's going to be Boston. That's going to be Milwaukee. That's going to be Philadelphia. Those 3 teams right there are already set in their ways. But once you go 4 through 8, it can be anybody it wants to be. Cleveland has kind of put their hat in the ring. Then you have Brooklyn, who's kind of put their hat in the ring. But then when you look at it, you have Miami, who's a real wild card. Because I didn't put Miami in the top 3, but I know Miami's a playoff team, and they went to the finals last year. We got to see what Miami's able to get though this year. That's the question though. At the end of the day, so Charlotte could be that team that plays themselves into the play-in. They're probably not set to be a 1 through 4, 5, 6 yet, but they had a good opportunity to be a 7 or 8. And LaMelo's already made the playoffs in his second year in the league. But you know what? They fell short. They were in the play-in. They were like the 10th seed. And, it was a good learning experiment. This time around, though, this is a season where LaMelo has to say to himself, no more messing around. Let's get to the point of really winning in this league. You know what I mean? And really, really, really being able to do what we have to do. So pretty much, man. Give me 1 second. All right. So pretty much here we are. We got this situation here, and it's just really like I'm telling you, man, this is going to be something that's going to be good. But then you got guys like PJ. Then you guys got guys like PJ. Hold it down. All right. You got guys like. Oh man, it's good to have guys like Miles Bridges back on this team, and all those players in place with Gordon Hayward and all that good stuff. And this is just something that's going to work out very well for this team moving forward. And I think that they'll be really good. I think that everything should be something that makes it to where this team is exciting, and that's exactly what the city of Charlotte wants them to be, is an exciting team. And I think that that's a lot of people. That's all what people are thinking of. That's all what it's about, and that's what it's going to be at the end of the day. So pretty much, this is what it is, man. And Charlotte is a team that, as I said about the Baltimore Orioles, they're a wild card team that you really can't sleep on. And if you have some future bets and things like that, you guys should go ahead and bet it up on the Charlotte Hornets to actually make the playoffs this year. I think that will be a strong bet, and I think they actually make it through to the playoffs to where they actually get to play 7 games in the first round as well too, because the NBA needs that excitement. They need the exciting players in the playoffs, not just being guys in commercials all the time and really just kind of just collecting big checks. They got to really step up and become the guys that that they were heralded to be. And I think that LaMelo is right on time. He's right on point. And I think nothing but the best for this kid. And I think that there's going to be something that's going to be special this year. I'm not trying to like make it to seem to where I'm just on his bumper, but the guy is really good. And we all know that he brings the butts to the seats in Charlotte, and he brings the butts to the seats to a lot of the arenas that Charlotte plays in as well too. And that was a real burden for this team last year, that they couldn't market that situation because he was never healthy. So it is what it is at the end of the day, and we move forward.